Hello everyone, EricTheCarGuy here, back again with another repair video. This one an easy one. In fact, I'm not even gonna put gloves on. Behind me, my 2001 Honda Odyssey. Its issue, the bulb behind the clock light on the dashboard doesn't work. So you're driving along at night, you have no idea what time it is. Kind of bugs me. Honestly, it's a common problem with Hondas. Not only with Odysseys, but just kind of across the board. Especially through the 90s and the 2000s, well, the early 2000s, had a real big issue with this. This is the part, or part number. Most times you have to disassemble the different components of the dashboard, and that's exactly what we're setting out to do. So rather than sitting here talking about it, let's tear apart that dashboard. Welcome to my dashboard. Here is the location of the clock. We need to remove some stuff in order to get to some fasteners behind here in order to get this clock out of here so that we can change the bulb. It's not that difficult, but you just kind of have to be careful because this is the interior of the vehicle, and if you're not careful you could damage it, and that would be something that you'd be looking at for a very long time. So try to avoid any damage to the dashboard as you take things apart. Work slowly, carefully, you should be okay. One of the first steps that I take in this procedure is I will drop the steering wheel down as far as it'll go. This will help give us a little more clearance, particularly up in this area when we go to remove this part of the dash. I'm going to start by removing this lower piece around the outside of the radio. I'm going to use a pocket screwdriver, and I'm also going to say that that's probably not the best option. There are tools out there that are made of plastic that are designed, they're trim removal tools that are designed to do just this type of thing. I'm probably going to put like a small mark here, but this is an older vehicle, it's my vehicle. I'm not so worried about it. However, you may be more so, or if it's a customer's car, of course, you definitely want to do what you can to try and eliminate any damage that you might cause during the process of this. But you can see this black area here, we need to remove it, and it's just clipped in. Just sort of sneak in behind it, and pull this whole piece right out. Now, behind this piece, there are some electrical connections, in my case for the interior lights. I can just take that one out, and I'm just going to lay it like this. I don't need to unplug absolutely everything to get to what I need to get to, which are these screws right up here. Here's a closer look at these screws that need to be removed. And there are also two up under this bezel here. Other than that, may have to remove this part also. But now I'm going to remove, well, I'm going to start with these. I have a neat little tool for this. It's a little ratchet. You can use a short Phillips head screwdriver, but this little ratcheting guy works pretty good for me. And set those someplace where you'll know where they'll go. I'm actually going to set them right up here on the dash. That may or may not be the best option, but it's the option I'm going with at the moment. There you go. Let's remove the rest of these. I'm going to use a more conventional screwdriver. I'll be honest. Earlier I thought, well, this piece looks separate from the dash, so I stuck my pocket screwdriver in here and tried to pry it out. As you can see, this is some of that damage I spoke of earlier that you should avoid. Now this is my car, I'll be able to live with it, but my mistake can help you be aware of a problem that you can avoid yourself, which is why you watch these videos, right? So don't try to pry this out. You may end up with this. I'm going to go in up underneath the steering wheel. This way, if there is any damage that's caused, it will not be in an area to be seen as much. Once again, look, they make plastic trim removal tools that are probably much better suited. Oh, maybe I'm lazy. Call me what you will. And I will also admit that using two hands when doing this is probably going to help you a great deal also. All right, that has allowed us to gain access to the final 2 screws. That is, if it wants to come out all the way. Okay, so now that piece is out all the way. We got 2 more screws. Seems like an awful lot of trouble for one little bulb. But hey, you got nothing better to do. Or maybe you do have something better to do. Ooh. Really grateful that went someplace where I can easily get to it. Because when they don't go someplace that's easy to get to, eesh. All right. Now I believe we have all the fasteners out necessary to remove this entire upper inner dash piece. I'll pry up under this area, or better yet, maybe I can just pull it back, because really, that's all we need. Yeah, there we go. Now, we have access to our clock, which I'm going to unplug. These connectors you just push down on there, and this one push in from the side, and you can now remove this entire piece and flip it around to see your prize, the clock light bulb. That's what you're here for. Now you see why I wasn't able to pry out, because it's screwed in from the back. So you do have to go through all of this should you need to do this. That's merely a matter of twisting on the bulb. And there's the old bulb. Let's install our new bulb. Make sure it clicks down into place. Before I install this, there's kind of no better time than to clean a cluster than without all this stuff in here. So I'm going to clean that real quick. Well, now I've gone and done it. I made a clean spot. That makes everything else look dirty. Before we get too happy, I think we should plug it in. What do you think? By the way, if the hazard switch doesn't get plugged back in, your turn signals won't work, in addition to the hazards. Just an FYI. Alright, now just push that guy back down into place. He'll know where his home is. And before we bolt it down, how about we check to see if it works. Now, these lights are on as long as the key is on. Let's turn the key on. Key on, key off. Key on, key off. Key on, key off. I think it works now. Let's get those screws back in. Now the ratchet's actually going to work for me. Right at the end. Now the rest is kind of easy. Remember to plug in the interior light thing right here. And then, once it seems like it's in place, give it a little shove. I always think of that scene from Happy Gilmore whenever I do this stuff. Go into your home. I know you want to go. Oh, just open my door. Let's just turn that off real quick. Just for the moment. Alright, well, it liked it better. if that popped out and I got a chance to put it back in. Yay. Okay. Dash is all back together. You can readjust your steering wheel and enjoy your new clock light bulb. One last time. Victory is ours. We now have a new clock light bulb in the Odyssey. Once again, I can tell the time at night. Pretty straightforward process. Don't try to pry it out of the dash. Make sure you remove those screws, remove that upper part of the dash. You're good to go. In fact, once again, this is fairly typical as far as Hondas go. You just have to basically find the places to pry, find maybe some hidden screws, things like that. But ultimately, if you have a clock light bulb out, you need to remove that part of the dash to access it. It's not normal that you'd be able to pull out just the clock assembly. And if you do mess it up, well, I gave you some ideas on how to make it look better. Sometimes that works really well. Sometimes it makes it go away completely. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes just enough. You won't know until you try. Hey, if you have automotive questions, head on over to EricTheCarGuy.com. I have put together several categories, as you can see here, of the most commonly asked questions that I've gotten over the years, written articles about those things, categorized them, made them searchable, easy to go through, and find answers. So if you have automotive questions, head over to EricTheCarGuy.com, try that out, see if you can't find an answer right then and there. If that doesn't work, we have a nice handy dandy search function on the site that searches through our entire database of forum posts and all kinds of gobbledygook that might be of interest to you, including check engine light codes. All you got to do is type them into that little search box. And once again, answers come up. And if that's not enough, feel free to sign up for our forum. It is absolutely free. All you need is an email address to sign up for it. Just be sure to respond to the confirmation email that you should get in your inbox. If you do not get said email, check your spam folder, bulk folder, something like that. But you will need to click that activation link in order to complete your registration. Other than that, you're sending me emails saying, "Why can't I log in, Eric? Why?" We'll get you handled. In addition, you can find me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And I close each of my videos with, be safe, have fun, stay dirty, and I hope that you're able to see the time in the dark, especially if you're going 88 miles an hour.